Now all with lease payments starting at just $399 per month for 39 months with $2,240 due at signing. See Lexus of Portland, just down the road.
Celebrating 40 years of spirit.
On World News tonight, the prisoners from Afghanistan held at Guantanamo Bay. Military tribunals for some, and perhaps the death penalty. The new law to regulate money in politics, the fundraising binge, is underway. From Texas to Virginia, the storm system in no hurry to move. Where there's been drought, there's the risk of a killer flood. The video game that is promoting hate, the market is teenage boys. We'll take a closer look. And you cannot give your pacemaker to another person, but you can leave it to the dog in your will.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. The Bush administration is very close to deciding what it is going to do with the prisoners from Afghanistan that it has been holding at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba for several months without charges. And one human rights organization said today that finally beginning due process is a huge step forward. The administration believes that some of the prisoners must face military tribunals and some may face the death penalty. Others may be sent home. ABC's Martha Raddatz is at the State Department. Martha?
Peter, the official announcement is expected sometime tomorrow, but ABC News has learned many of the details tonight. There are 300 prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. Their names have not been revealed, nor where they come from. The only real connection between the outside world and the prisoners, one voice.
There are innocents here in this case. We got no legal rights, nothing.
The prisoners have been held without charges under what's called the laws of war. But it is believed that by summer's end, some could face military tribunals.
The tribunals are just an option for us, and we'll be using the tribunals if, in the course of bringing somebody to justice, it would jeopardize or compromise national security interests.
A U.S. official tells ABC News that if a prisoner does face a tribunal, he will be provided a military lawyer and may also hire a civilian attorney. A panel made up of 3 to 7 members will decide the prisoner's fate. For the death penalty to be imposed, the decision must be unanimous. Legal experts say the tribunals would work much like a court-martial and likely be used for only a few prisoners.
These would be reserved for people who were higher up in the hierarchy, so to speak, of Al-Qaeda or Taliban. That suggests that there would be a relatively small number of relatively serious offenders.
The remaining prisoners would be charged in civilian court, perhaps, or perhaps sent home. But, Peter, all of this will take many, many months.
Many thanks, Martha. Official announcement, we think, coming tomorrow. Our second report tonight is about the story that actually turned out not to be true. At the Pentagon briefing today, and it got a lot of attention, the briefing officer started off by saying that in one of the Afghan caves, they had found one of those global positioning instruments, which they believed belonged to a Special Forces soldier who had actually been killed in Somalia 9 years ago. One of those in the book and depicted in the movie, Black Hawk Down. And the briefing officer was not reluctant to say that this connected Osama bin Laden to Somalia. However, the Pentagon later acknowledged it wasn't true. ABC's John McWethy is at the Pentagon tonight. John, pick it up from there.
Peter, what they found in the cave was one of these GPS units with the name G. Gordon written on it. And they somehow jumped to the conclusion that this must have been from the soldier, Master Sergeant Gary Gordon, who was killed in Somalia in 1993. They were so convinced that they told the families to brace themselves for more unwanted publicity. But later in the day, this began to unravel. First of all, they discovered that the unit had not yet been built in '93, and that a pilot had lost the GPS unit when his helicopter had been shot down, and further, that unit had been loaned to him by a friend who operated under the call sign, and you guessed it, this is not his real name, G. Gordon, because the guy looked like talk show host G. Gordon Liddy.
Thank you, John. John McWethy at the Pentagon. To the Pentagon's credit, they were quick to put this out, which was to their advantage, but they were pretty quick today to correct themselves. Attorney General John Ashcroft today talked about the foreign nationals who've been questioned by law enforcement in many parts of the country since November. The Justice Department planned to interview 5,000 foreigners, most of them Arabs or Arab Americans. Now Mr. Ashcroft says he wants another 3,000 interviews. Many of those already questioned say it was terrifying that they were, in their words, victims of ethnic profiling. ABC's Pierre Thomas reports from Washington.
The Attorney General says the interviews actually eased concerns in the Arab community.
The process of reaching out to foreign nationals and their communities fostered new trust between law enforcement and these communities.
That, some Arab American leaders say, could not be further from the truth.
Not only did the investigations that were conducted waste police man-hours, they were ineffective and inefficient use of law enforcement time, but they also created fear in the community.
This college student who asked not to be identified says a recent meeting with police left him feeling like a criminal.
I was just very scared, anxious, nervous, and I just wanted to get it over with.
He was one of several thousand men of mostly Arab descent who were interviewed.
We believe that these individuals might either wittingly or unwittingly be in the same circles, communities, or social groups as those engaged in terrorist activities.
The government claims the first campaign produced tips about the hijackers, intelligence about their associates, and may have scared would-be terrorists.
Such a climate could cause would-be terrorists to scale back, to delay, or to abandon their plans altogether.
Justice officials say the interviews are voluntary. Critics say the interviews are voluntary in name only.
My conclusion was pretty much that I don't really even have a choice, because if I didn't go through with it for whatever reason, then I would be even more suspect.
Roughly 20 of those interviewed were arrested. Peter?
Pierre, I know the department wanted to talk to several thousand people. How many did they actually manage to talk to?
They managed to talk to several thousand, but Peter, roughly 1,100 of the people they were looking for, they could not find. That's roughly 20%.
And now 3,000 more.
Absolutely.
Many thanks, Pierre. Pierre Thomas in Washington tonight. Several items in the overseas briefing tonight. The Iraqi President Saddam Hussein says the United States is insane to think of using nuclear weapons against Iraq. He accused the U.S. of fabricating stories about Iraqi support for terrorists to justify a military campaign against him. In Zimbabwe, the opposition leader, Morgan Tsvangirai, was formally charged with treason and plotting to kill the president, Robert Mugabe. The accusation was actually made shortly before the questionable presidential election in Zimbabwe, elections widely considered fraudulent and condemned by the international community. In northern Israel today, a suicide bomber blew himself up on a bus. 7 people died, most of them Israeli Arabs. Despite the attack, the White House says it is hopeful about a general Israeli-Palestinian ceasefire. In the Chinese capital, Beijing, today, one of the worst sandstorms in a decade. They're becoming more common in parts of China where the grasslands are being overcome by desert. And so much for tradition. The British newspaper Lloyd's List, which has covered the shipping industry since 1734, says it will no longer refer to ships as she. From now on, a ship will be an it. It is modern, said the editor, though he is expecting a lot of letters. The Senate today passed sweeping reforms of the country's campaign finance system. After years of gridlock on the subject and political infighting, the centerpiece of the bill is a ban on unlimited donations to political parties, the so-called soft money, which accounted for $500 million in the last election alone. And now the race is on to raise more of this money before the ban begins. ABC's Linda Douglas watched the final day of debate on Capitol Hill. Linda?
Peter, the political parties have only 7 more months to raise those big contributions before the law bans them. So some party leaders are predicting what they are calling the new gold rush.
He knows what
fundraising had already reached a fever pitch this month.
Your dollars will
The president pulling in millions for Senate candidates. 3 weeks ago, Democrats took home $6 million in one night.
This is the most successful dinner I believe we've ever had.
Now, party leaders say there will be a fundraising binge. to scarf up big contributions from corporations and labor unions while they are still legal.
Democrats are full court, just as the Republicans are, raising money for the 2002 elections.
Supporters of the big money ban said voters believe the political system is corrupt. But opponents argue the new law will not stamp out big money. It will simply shift political influence to a new set of power brokers.
Instead of having more or less two major political parties, you may have a multitude of special interest groups with a lot of money trying to influence elections.
Under the new law, political parties cannot raise big contributions, but that won't stop other kinds of fundraising. Special interest groups such as the National Rifle Association and labor unions still can raise unlimited funds and use them to help candidates up to 2 months before the election. New groups are expected to pop up overnight. Other groups, known as political action committees, can continue pooling contributions from employees or members. And professional fundraisers, such as Ellen Malcolm, who collects checks of $2,000 or less, will be more powerful than ever. Malcolm raised $25 million for women candidates in the last election.
We now, I think, are the biggest fundraiser of hard money in the country outside of the two national parties.
Wealthy businessmen helped President Bush raise $100 million in such small contributions for his presidential campaign. And tonight, Peter, the campaign lawyers are scrambling for ways around the new law, and they are confident that they will find them.
Thank you, Linda. Linda Douglas. When we come back, the worst floods in a generation. They drench the South, and in many cases, the water has nowhere to go. In other news tonight, pretending to kill Jews and blacks and Latinos. They call it a video game. We'll take a closer look at hate. And at the end of the broadcast tonight, the dog lover's last gift. It was a pacemaker.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Nexium.
I am one of the many people.
We used to think they're frequent, persistent heartburn.
It's just plain old heartburn.
But if you've treated your heartburn, changed your diet, and the pain still comes back 2 or more days a week, it could be from acid reflux disease.
And over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Today, there's a purple pill called Nexium from the makers of Prilosec. For many people, 1 prescription Nexium a day means complete
24 hours.
day and night heartburn relief. And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can tell if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
Alen Hurley owns a Hyundai Elantra.
I researched it on the internet. There was no comparison.
The competition can't match the Freedom of America's best warranty.
The warranty for the Elantra was the best out there.
It also has a long list of features, including front and side airbags. It's the only car in its class that has them standard.
The gas mileage is excellent. It's a great value for the money.
The Hyundai Elantra at just $12,244. It's a solid value. Get the Hyundai Elantra at just $12,244 after $750 cash back.
Starting to feel a little cramped by your present surroundings? RE/MAX can help you find a new home while selling your current one to someone who'll find it absolutely perfect. If you're looking for outstanding results, look for RE/MAX.
Take care of your future now with new Bayer Women's Aspirin Plus Calcium. Calcium for your bones, aspirin for your heart. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen and ask about new Bayer Women's.
The national briefing begins tonight in Houston. The accounting firm Arthur Andersen says it is not guilty of obstructing justice. In the Enron case, more than 700 Andersen employees marched outside the courthouse to show their support for the firm. The independent counsel, Robert Ray, has handed in his final report on the Clintons' Whitewater land venture. 2,200 pages long. It says there is not enough evidence to prosecute either the former president or his wife, the current senator. The Air Force says 16 of 21 B-2 bombers have developed tiny cracks in their tail sections. They say the cracks pose no risk to safety, or to the aircraft rather, but they will need to be repaired. Well, the weather is a big factor in many parts of the country. A storm, which is moving very slowly, is swamping thousands of communities in a wide swath stretching from Texas to Virginia. 4 inches of rain have fallen in some part. Schools are closed, roads are blocked, and hundreds of homes have been damaged or destroyed. ABC's Erin Hayes begins in Atlanta.
It has created a nasty, dangerous mess in many places, and for some,
hurry up, Mom!
Frightening moments.
I was laying on the couch sleeping. Next thing I know, it sounded like a freight train come through.
The rain just kept coming day and night.
It's 4 to 5 feet deep in the middle of the road.
It brought deaths, 7 in Tennessee, a little boy drowned in Texas, and there have been hundreds of rescues. And many evacuations, the latest today in Paris, Kentucky.
Oh, it's getting higher. Is it getting higher? Yeah.
It is all the result of a storm system that was in no hurry to move, dragging slowly across Oklahoma, Arkansas, to Tennessee, Kentucky, all the while pouring out rain. In Oklahoma, 6 inches. The floodwaters have damaged or destroyed more than 400 homes in 7 states.
It mysterious come in your eyes. Yeah, it does. But, I don't know. It's hard.
Damage estimate already over $20 million, and in some states, rivers are still rising. But the good news is that the storm itself, the rain, shifted late today southward to Mississippi, Alabama, here in Georgia, and up along the East Coast, all to states that need the rain. So by tomorrow, forecasters say, those states so hard hit by floods this week should see sunny skies. Erin Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
And in New York City today, recovery workers found the remains of the only city policewoman to be killed at the World Trade Center. The body of Officer Moira Smith was one of 5 found today. Other police formed an honor guard as her body was removed. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the hate games sold as entertainment.
When my guys want cookies,
there's something better.
Pillsbury ready-to-bake cookies couldn't be easier. Just place them and bake them. So I have more time just to hang out with my guys.
Pillsbury, my heart to yours.
Once you pass 50, skincare's a whole new game.
L'Oreal Age Perfect Anti-Sagging and Ultra-Hydrating Treatment increases mature skin's resiliency as it deeply moisturizes. 83% of women reported more resilient skin. Age Perfect only from L'Oreal.
Why do I eat Healthy Choice Beef Tips Portobello?
Why? Because it has lean, tender chunks of beef and a delicious mushroom sauce.
And it's 97% fat-free with vitamins A and C.
Healthy Choice. Feel-good food.
Here at Pears Skating, Tom and Sue are on the ice.
And a crossover step. Very, very nice.
Now, is there tomfoolery coming up?
Yes, yes, there it is. Tomfoolery. My, oh my.
Who would know they have arthritis?
Celebrex celebrates the Olympic spirit in all of us. Just one Celebrex can relieve the pain, inflammation, and stiffness of osteoarthritis for 24 hours. Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions to aspirin or other arthritis medicines or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems.
And look at the score.
Ask your doctor about Celebrex, official supporter of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
Hey, Dad, my tuition's due.
How much do you need?
About $8,500.
What if getting money from your home equity was this painless? Well, thanks to Ditech.com, it may be. Just log on or call 1-800-803-8865 now to apply for a second mortgage with a no closing cost option.
Hey, Mom, we need another roll.
We'll arrange an appraiser, notary, and even deliver to your door. Ditech.com, your mortgage solution delivered.
Well, you're going along, feeling fine, when it hits you. Diarrhea. Alone, it's bad. But with gas and cramps, too, you've got big trouble. Good thing there's Imodium Advanced Caplets, the only one that combines 2 medicines to stop diarrhea, cramps, and gas all at once. In no time, you'll feel A-OK again. Imodium Advanced Caplets. Whew, what a relief.
Tomorrow, she died after being hit by a hockey puck. But could her death have been prevented? And what dangers do you face as a sports fan on Good Morning America?
We were looking at the figures for hate crimes today. They were an issue right after the September attacks. They're an issue all the time. The Southern Poverty Law Center, which opposes and monitors hate groups, says that hate crimes increased 12% last year from 602 to 676. We're going to take a closer look tonight at an ugly new way to encourage hatred. ABC's Dean Reynolds on the latest hate video games.
It resembles the kind of game favored by many teenage boys. But this one is different. Here, the enemies are specifically Hispanics, blacks, and Jews.
They spin around and they say, oy vey, as they die.
Brian Marcus of the Anti-Defamation League surfs the net for hatred disguised as entertainment.
But this is something that took hundreds of man-hours to make, and the detail shows.
This game is called ethnic cleansing.
We've got a nigger problem around here.
There are African Americans in shirts reading Big Nig and whose deaths are accompanied by the sounds of screeching monkeys. The hero in this case, a white-hooded Klansman, is hunting the ultimate prey, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon.
Their modus operandi is to dehumanize people. That means they don't deal with people as human beings, and therefore they deal with them as vermin, basically.
Here in West Virginia, at the headquarters of the National Alliance where the game is produced, there is no regard at all for such criticism, except to say that it helps create what is claimed to be a big demand for this particular kind of stuff.
Racist author William Pierce heads the National Alliance, which argues, among other things, that Jews rule the media and use it to poison white culture.
When they come over here and they start tearing down my society, then I respond emotionally to it.
With hatred?
What, sometimes with hatred? Yes.
That's you holding a M16.
National Alliance member Brian Ringer designed the ethnic cleansing game.
I just decided to make it New York just because Jews, New York.
Other, less sophisticated hate games have been available for free at various websites. Ethnic Cleansing is the first to actually go on sale last January on Martin Luther King Day. The target audience, 15 to 30-year-old white males.
To heighten in them a sense of racial consciousness, to make them care about the same things that we care about.
He doesn't care that his product may be hurtful.
That's irrelevant. That wasn't a consideration in the game.
His primary consideration is to spread the word, and movies may be next.
All I know is that we have to do what we can.
Any way they can do it. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Hillsboro, West Virginia.
Our final item in just a moment.
Chilly nights at the firehouse mean heartburn and gas. These don't have the medicine to relieve both, but Gas X with Maalox does, combining the heartburn relief of Maalox with the power of Gas X to beat the burn and the bloat fast.
You see a countryside without phone lines. At Franklin Templeton, we saw an opportunity to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Uncovering hidden opportunities like this requires a unique perspective, one that has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go. Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
I have to go now.
If you've always got to go, ask your doctor about Detrol LA. It's been proven effective for overactive bladder.
You need a break? Not right now.
You shouldn't take it if you have stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
And I don't have to go right now.
Detrol LA. When you've always got to go.
Hear that sound? It's me. In my garden. Raining down growth from above. I'm talking about Miracle Grow plant food. Did you know that it feeds through the leaves as well as the roots? So the results are almost immediate. And with regular feeding, you'll get bigger plants and twice the blooms. Look at the difference it makes. Even if you're new to gardening, you can dream big and actually get big. Have you used Miracle Grow lately?
Be adventurous. Be
plugged in. Be involved. Be powerful. Be yourself. Because it's your choice, your voice, and your attitude. Today's AARP.
Tired of struggling down glass after glass of powdered fiber for regularity? Consider refreshing glasses of water with FiberCon tablets. A whole lot easier to take.
And every bit as effective as powder.
FiberCon, refreshingly easier to take.
I'm Paul Lindman. Up next on K2 News, the FBI issues a strong warning to the person responsible for the disappearance of 2 Oregon City girls. The cleanup underway at the site of that huge water main break. And are you trying to sell a house? If so, we've got good news for you next on K2 News.
Tomorrow, is there toxic waste in your backyard? If the government can't make the polluters clean it up, should you foot the bill? Watch World News Tonight.
Finally from us this evening, inheriting a heartbeat. We have said it on this broadcast before, caring for pets in the United States is a huge industry. Laser surgery, chemotherapy, and now pacemakers. Here's ABC's Barry Serra.
Before 80-year-old Dorothy Edwards died last month, she instructed her family to give her pacemaker to a patient who needed it. The recipient is doing fine. She's back on her feet, all 4 of them. Sunshine, a 9-year-old German Shepherd with a weak heart, owes her life to Mrs. Edwards.
This is a way that she's been able to draw attention to a need that a lot of people didn't know existed.
Federal regulations prohibit person-to-person donation of pacemakers, but as in the case of Sunshine, they can be donated to save the lives of dogs and other pets.
Mrs. Edwards' pacemaker was given to the University of Georgia's College of Veterinary Medicine, which treats thousands of animals a year.
You're looking great, little fella. You're looking great.
Go ahead and blot right there.
Surgeon Karen Cornell implanted the pacemaker in Sunshine.
This is her heart, and this is her pacemaker generator, which is just underneath the skin.
It should keep her heart beating regularly for 4 or 5 years.
She can go back to leading a normal life?
She should be able to be as active as she wants to be.
So can Tucker, a 6-year-old lab mix. Mallory Harmon says Tucker is a new dog, thanks to another donated pacemaker.
But the difference is amazing. Plays all the time.
3,000 to 4,000 dogs in this country need a pacemaker every year.
The potential of pacemakers is every bit as promising as it is in humans.
But only about 1 out of 10 dogs that needs one gets one, because the life-saving devices cost $4,000 to $6,000 apiece. So veterinary schools depend on pacemakers donated by manufacturers and individuals.
Hi, baby girl.
When Sunshine's owners, John and Cindy Wren, came to take her home, they expressed hope that other dogs and owners will receive similar gifts.
When you can bring life to another creature for a longer period of time and help people out who don't have the benefit of being able to afford an expensive pacemaker from the factory, it's a great opportunity.
The Wrens are grateful for the opportunity to spend more years with Sunshine. Barry Serra from ABC News, Athens, Georgia.
And that is our report on World News Tonight. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tonight, it may look like a video game, but your kids don't play this one. Cops do. Police and dangerous high-speed chases on the streets you travel. Could what they learn here keep your family any safer? Here, tonight, it's Downtown.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, new details on the investigation of the 2 missing Oregon City girls as FBI officials vow to capture their abductor. Plus, the water is gone, but not the mess after a water main break floods a neighborhood in northeast Portland. And Portland area homes are a hot commodity.
Connecting you to your world, this is K2 News.
Good evening. Glad you're with us, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn. And I'm Paul Lindman. A plea for help from investigators in the case of the 2 missing Oregon City girls. At a special news conference this afternoon, the FBI released new details in the case in hopes the information will lead them to the girls.
Finding the two 13-year-old girls has become the FBI's top priority, and today, Portland's top agent had a message for their abductor.
Every police officer is suspicious of you, and every action you take.
Why he was pleased to discover that our selection of big and tall was not only extensive, but at prices that, well, wouldn't soak him. After all, he had enough of that for one day.
You'll find big and tall sizes at the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Tonight's Coin 6 programming is brought to you by Farmland Foods.